Hi guys! In today's video, I'm going to be doing an adding too much to slime video, and I think this is probably my favourite one I've done so far. I added so many things, starting off with adding too much face masks. The ones I chose specifically did not have PVA in them, and they also had loads of the slime ingredients that we normally add in foaming face wash. And I was wondering what the clay face mask would do to the slime, because as you guys know, a lot of face masks are used with PVA to make slime, but the ones without actually give this the best texture. This feels like all of the thick slimes from all the famous slime shops, and it's so glossy, so thick, and it inflates so much. It turned into 2 8-ounce containers from an 8-ounce slime. After the face mask slime worked so well, I decided to go in with another Pamper product, and I decided to go in with a Lush bath bomb, and this is the Experimenter. I just thought the colours in this were so cute, and then I went in with some glue, but it really fizzed up, so I had to add even more, and when I mixed it in, I noticed it was clumping, so as soon as I added my activator, I was kind of thinking, well, there's a lot of glue in there, so I'm only going to add a tiny bit, but it turned into rubber anyway. As soon as I touched it, it didn't have any goo in the middle, like sometimes when you overactivate outside, it was just rock hard. I was so excited to add too much floral foam. I've never actually touched it, but it always looks so satisfying on Instagram, and when I touched it, I was so shocked. I just gave it a little push because I was expecting it to be really soft, but this was actually so tough, and when I tried to mix it into the slime, it just did not work. So I moved to plan B, and I just started cutting it up like all the satisfying people on Instagram, but this was just so tough. And also, when you were trying to like mix it in, instead of mixing it in and making it like, I don't know, like adding it into something like a clay into slime where it mixes together, it just absorbed the slime. So it just became wet floral foam. I am obsessed with fimo pieces. I think that's how you pronounce it, but this is just so much fun to mix into clear slime, and I've only done tiny little bits, like as much as I'm adding here. So I was like, you know what, I'm going to be extra, I'm going to do one of the videos where I add too much, and I'm just going to buy a whole load of them. So I decided to add 2,000 pieces into an 8-ounce clear slime, and this made the slime so tough. It took away all the stickiness, but it also inflated so much and made the best crunches. This is one of those Instagram made me do it purchases. I saw these all over Instagram, and they're basically like these little plastic things that you put on the end of a straw, you blow it up, and then it makes a plastic balloon, and it's so fun. And I was like, you know what, I'm gonna mix this into slime, and it was actually really tough. It didn't pop. I was expecting it to have like a loud bang, but it really didn't. It was so fun to mix in, but it also didn't really mix in because it's plastic, so it just came up as like little colored chunks. Slime shop owners always complain that if you add too much scented oil that the slime melts down too quickly. So I decided to add as much oil as I did glue, which is a huge mistake in my opinion. It left the glue not really feeling like glue. It was so thin. It wasn't even like an oil consistency or a glue consistency. If there's something that's thinner than water, it really felt like that. I was just so shocked, and it also felt like it was about to go to a jiggly slime when I activated it, and I had to add so much activator and stir this for ages, and it became rock hard when I took it out, and then within 5 minutes it already melted down. I was quite shocked by this and how fast like the meltdown was, so I just added loads and loads of activator and made this so tough, like so rippable, and then the next day it was so glossy and just amazing. If you guys have been watching me for a while, you'll know I love crunchy slimes, and I decided to add a ton of crunchy beads into one to just see what type of crunch it gave. And I decided to add it into pigment slime. I just use a normal Barbie pigment. It's like a pink gold one, and it's a really cute one. And then I used some fishbowl beads, some foam beads, and also some slushy beads. So they were all different shapes and also different consistencies. And this was really fun to mix in. It was kind of nowhere near as crunchy as I was expecting it to be. Maybe I needed more beads. Looking at it, probably I did. But it was just so pretty, really fun to play with, and a really different kind of crunch. The beads gave it a classic country. Oh yeah, country. The beads gave it a classic crunchy clear slime kind of vibe, but then the pastel beads gave it some soft crunch. Next up, we have the most highly requested adding too much of anything into clear slime I've ever gotten, and this is adding too much netted sponge into clear slime. And this is basically like a really nice crunchy but also like nice textural thing that people have been adding, but normally people add like 3 in an 8-ounce container. So I was like, you know what, I'm probably going to add around 20 to an 8-ounce and see what happens. And as you can see, this had a lot of jelly at first, so I decided it's probably best if I add a bit more. So I added about 4 more chunks, and this became so crunchy. It's really hard to describe the texture because the slime's absorbed by the things, which I think is why it makes it like super crunchy, because then you get the dried up slime on top. I was cleaning up my slime room the other day and I noticed how many squishies I had, so I thought it would be really fun to just mix a few of them into a slime and see what happened. And this was actually so fun. A few of them are scented, and I think this caused the slime to melt a bit because it became so sticky. I was really shocked at this because when I was adding it to the slime was really tough, so I was worried it wouldn't stick at first, but it actually did the opposite. It was actually really easy to get the slime off the squishies if they were heavily coated, and also if they didn't have like any accessories on it. So the ones with confetti pieces on it, like the lollipop and also the strawberry that was dipped in chocolate, that was so hard to clean. But then the fries and loads of other things, they just came out so easily. So if you do try this, I recommend using your glossy slimes, and this also makes the slime so crunchy and so airy. I find the more squishies the better, to be honest. It's so fun to play with, and I honestly just couldn't stop squishing this. Next up, we have an absolute classic, and we're going to be adding too much clear slime. I really enjoyed doing this because I've never added so many slimes with different textures, and I was also really curious to see what color this would come out, because sometimes they come out really pretty and sometimes they come out really gross. end texture was kind of like a mochi slime, I would say, with loads of confetti in it, and it was so stretchy and fun, and it made about 20 8-ounce containers, which was awesome. As some of you might have noticed, I'm not uploading as much as I have been recently, just because I've been taking a little bit of a break to get some creative inspiration back, and this has really worked. I'm so excited to be uploading regularly again, and I tend to upload on Monday, Wednesdays, or Fridays, and I also give updates on my Instagram if I'm not posting. Also, on my Instagram, I have full-length videos of all the slimes that I do in my videos without any of of it muted, just all ASMR, so go and check that out if you want to. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Let me know if you want to see more of these videos or more other types of videos. I will be responding to comments tonight as well, so don't forget to show some love in the comments, and I will see you next week.